Hey, Southern Nevada, let's talk about your tap water. Despite its hard, mineral-rich taste, your water surpasses drinking standards, so don't confuse hard water with its quality. Sourced from the Rocky Mountains, your water is analyzed more than 328,000 times a year and treated and monitored 24/7 by a team of technical experts. Learn more about the testing of your water at snwa.com. SNWA is a not-for-profit water agency.
You know you're a Vegas local if you're obsessed with proving how much of a Vegas local you really are. So today on CityCast Las Vegas, I talk with two Las Vegans and former CityCasters, attorney Dayvid Figler and journalist Sonja Swanson, about what Boy Scout merit badges you need to collect in order to qualify as a real Vegas local. It's Wednesday, April 15th. I'm Jesse Merrick, and here's what Las Vegas is talking about. Dayvid and Sonja, you guys are both longtime Vegas locals. Dayvid, you're a lifer, and Sonja, you're wrapping up how many years here in Vegas?
Oh gosh, my family's been in Vegas now for about 25 years. As you know, I'm headed out, moving to California, but I'll be a Vegas girl forever and ever in my heart.
Yeah, 20 years classifies you as a local in my book.
Maybe. We're still going to test her.
Dayvid.
Yeah. Hey, I guess we'll define that today, right? Let's imagine that qualifying as a real Vegas local is like becoming an Eagle Scout. What are the merit badges that you're going to need to collect along the way to officially call yourself a local, all right? We'll start with the Cub Scout badges. These are the easiest ones to get. Dayvid, you're the lifer, so I feel like we have to let you go first on this one. So get us rolling with a couple of your first, merit badges.
Yeah, the easy breezy ones. Now, Jesse, you've been in Vegas long enough now that I think that you can claim it. And so I'm very curious how many of these merit badges you have. So first level, at some point, you have to stop whatever you're doing. And if there are people around you, gather them to join you in looking at the sunset. Just taking however many minutes out of whatever you were doing because you spied it. And then you're like, okay, I'm not going to let this go. That is a true local, to stop whatever you're doing, no matter how important it is, to take a look and suck it all in.
Yeah, you can't get caught up in the midst of the rat race. Like, you got to sit there and enjoy the beauty that is a Las Vegas sunset. I would say of all the places I've lived, Vegas is definitely towards the top of the list in the gorgeous
God-tier sunsets in Las Vegas. Easy.
So that's like a multicolored badge. I know we weren't supposed to visually describe our badges, but this one has all the colors of the rainbow in one place on a little circle badge, right?
Gorgeous, gorgeous. You know, my Cub Scout badge is actually also a sun, but it is an unpleasant task. It is surviving your first Vegas summer and staying in the valley for 90% of the summer. So,
okay.
If you can actually do, like, not some people, like, they're like little, winter snowbirds and they just only come in the winter time. If you're actually here parked in Vegas for a full summer, you can have like a 1 week vacation somewhere. You can like go out to Flagstaff or whatever you want to do. But true summer longevity, you made it through an entire Vegas summer, you get a little sun badge, a nice bright yellow sun, fierce, hot yellow sun.
See, I like that you already gave us the badge on it. Now we know like what the little merit badge is actually going to look like, their little sun badge. And it's so fitting because I think it kind of goes in hand with like, you clear that first benchmark of being in Vegas for, at least one summer. And that's kind of probably when you get to the point, that second summer coming around where you're like, oh, it's only 100 degrees.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I think that would be the verbiage of a true local is when you say it's only 100 plus degrees. Yeah.
Yeah, or after what was it, a couple summers ago, it's like, oh, well, we only hit 110 like 5 times this year,
Yeah. I have another Cub badge, if I may.
Yeah, hit us with it.
It is when you first defend Las Vegas to strangers. And not in this, like, really, I think you have to like, be in this not super chip on your shoulder, angry, like up in arms kind of way. It's like oh, what are you talking about? No, Vegas is actually so hip. Vegas is actually amazing. Like, it's sort of like a nonchalant, of course Vegas is awesome. It's gotta be like the right attitude. But if you defend Las Vegas to strangers, boom, badge.
And what's that badge look like? I'm picturing a lawyer defending a slot machine or something. Like, right in there.
With like a trident.
No, I think it's just like a thumbs up. It's just a simple thumbs up,
Yeah, well, that's the thing, because like the question is always like, oh, well, what casino do you live in? And sitting there and defending that, like, no, there are real neighborhoods in Las Vegas. We actually don't go down to the Strip. And that takes me to my first merit badge. is saying that you avoid the Strip like the plague. I mean, I feel like that's one of our favorite things to do in Las Vegas when you move here, is that you're like, oh, we don't go down there. That's for the tourists. That's not where us locals go. And you start to have like your local spots that you frequent.
Okay, but here's my caveat to that. That's the Cub badge. But the next level up is when you actually kind of circle back around again and actually find things you love about the Strip.
Yes, it's true.
Oh,
Like,
yeah. That's a good
That's
turnaround.
the second tier.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we all say that we don't go to the Strip, but it's like, okay, when you hear a new restaurant coming into town, you're like,
Oh,
man,
of course.
I gotta go down there. And so then you like pretend like you didn't actually go down there. And you're like, well, I only went down there for this one thing. I didn't, pull an all-nighter or rage all night at one of the casinos or anything like that.
Or if you're a professional sports fan, you're kind of stuck because most of the venues are on the Strip. And when you're there, you might as well just do it anyway. All right, I'm going to do my one last easy Cub Scout badge. And that's going to be that you've been here long enough that you have seen a road get repaved and that same road repaved a second time.
Yes. Constant construction in the city of Las Vegas is 1,000% a thing. When you realize, when you're not like, oh, there's construction over there, you're like, oh, it's just another Tuesday on that road.
Yeah. That same street, paved, repaved. Yes. Absolutely.
That's great. That's good.
You're the local.
That's longevity.
And that merit badge is going to be the obvious one. It's the stupid cone, of course.
The orange cone. That's brilliant. I love it.
Nah. See, I think I have a theory. That the paving companies want us to make that joke because it distracts us from just how inefficient they are at paving our roads. So they're like, oh yeah, everyone laughs about the state flower. And in reality, we should be like, when I see those, all I get is fire in my belly and I need reform. But see, we joke about it, so it loosens us up for the inconvenience that will follow. But yeah, that's my badge.
You have to laugh through the pain. That's the thing. Like I live downtown and all the construction that's going on here, on Charleston, I'm like, thank God it's so overdue. But man, now you have to take all the side streets in order to get into the neighborhoods down here and everything. It's like, you're sitting in traffic nonstop on Charleston if you're trying to go to the Arts District.
Yep. All right. So we've officially become Cub Scouts.
Yeah, I
We're
think at
Cub
this point,
Scouts.
yeah, we've earned enough. I think we've gotten a little bit of gumption under our belt, and we can go and jump to the next level. That is, if we're keeping with this theme of the Boy Scouts here, that would be your first and second class badges. I went and looked this up. I had to double check. I myself was a Boy Scout, but I forgot how the tiers actually go.
It used to be
this.
you used to get a bear. I remember because I was in Cub Scouts here in Las Vegas. You get a bear as the next level, and then there might have been a wolf in there somewhere. I'm trying to remember.
So David, I got a question to ask you on this one, because I remember when I was a kid in the Cub Scouts, anytime you get a badge, they used to make like your father or father figure, whoever it was, come up and hold you upside down while they put it on you. Was that just a thing? I grew up in Southern California. So was that just a thing there that was weird, or did they do that here?
They were messing with you, Jesse. They were like, this is totally normal.
Yeah.
Shake the kid upside down.
Hazing in the Scouts. Yeah, I still got a couple screws loose after that.
I didn't get that. Though we did a lot of father-son stuff in there. I remember we had a bake-off once, and we made a very inedible cake. And then for the auction to raise funds for the Cub Scout troop, my dad had to buy his own cake back because it was I didn't want any of the kids to die. And we immediately threw it out.
Well, Sonja, now I got to get to you on this one. Obviously, we let David kick things off. So what's your mid-tier badges, your first and second class badges of a real Vegas local?
Okay, it is if you know at least 3 hidden parking spots. So it's your parking hack badge. And this is obviously going to be a car, but it's your hack to either avoid paid parking or avoid like a crowded parking lot. So I, as a gift to our listeners, will share one of my parking hacks, which is in Chinatown. And you know how that Chinatown Plaza around Ranch 99 Chinatown Plaza, the main Chinatown Plaza, is always so packed, so crowded. It's impossible to find parking.
True.
If you just go a tiny bit east behind Fo Kim Long, they have all those like kind of warehouse type buildings. There are a row of like at least 2 or 3 tiny little streets back there where there's always parking. That is my parking hack. And that is 1 out of 3 that you can now use to earn your parking badge.
Yeah, thanks, Sonja. Now I'm not going to be able to park back there anymore.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, guys. All of our listeners are going to take the spots, but y'all deserve it. You're CityCast listeners.
Yeah, I will say, too, bonus points, going back to your first one, if you can also find a spot that is in the shade, that means you've progressed as a true Vegas local. I guess at this point, I don't know, maybe have you or have you not gotten a sunshade yet? Hopefully your windows are already tinted. I mean, I feel like those are givens.
To the max. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, limo tints all around.
Yes, you have to. That's the only way to survive.
David, how about you?
Okay, so this is kind of a twofer. Number one, I believe that you need to spend an entire evening without complaining in a smoke-filled room, most likely a bar, okay?
Ooh.
And not like, oh, where I come from, whatever. No. You're a local now, you suck it up. You live with secondary smoke. We are the last bastion of this horrific habit, and we must embrace it as locals. And to that
Embrace
end,
it at least just once, though. You're not saying do this
oh,
every
no, I'm
single
not saying
night.
go in
Don't do
every
this often.
night, although you'll
Right.
probably get addicted to the secondhand nicotine. But that said, the other part of that is if you are doing this local feat of strength, enduring the
Yes.
smoke inside at a bar, then also to be a true local, you have had to have figured out how to get a comped drink. Now, there are a lot of
Ooh.
pathways to getting a free drink in a bar. I will leave it to the listener's imagination, but obvious one is that you are playing video poker enough to get the attention of the bartender and get the free drink. Bonus merit badge if you get a premium liquor, as opposed to whatever
okay.
the well is that they're going to give you for free. But anyway,
That's a hot
so
tip.
a comp
Yeah.
drink and enduring smoke without complaining, that's the merit badge of the next level.
Although,
Very nice.
is it free at that point though? Still, if you've been sitting there playing,
Oh, see, asked like a true local. Actually, a true
Yeah.
local doesn't care. It's free
Oh.
even if it's not free.
that's
The
fair.
double think.
I mean,
The double think
you could
of
actually get
gambling.
paid out to drink that free drink. You know, you
True.
might actually win because
Dayvid,
sometimes.
we just ended problem gambling month. Come on, man.
Yeah, and so now we're in April. It's like after no drink November or whatever it is. It's sloshed out December. That's how it works.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
sometimes people actually win at gambling. Believe it or not,
Sometimes.
Yeah.
the
Sometimes.
odds are forever not in your favor.
Well, my next mid-tier badge actually piggybacks off of David's there,
Okay.
which is for you to become a regular someplace where the bartender knows your name.
Yes.
And I think that obviously will be a nice little drink, a little whiskey badge. And it's not very child appropriate, but it is Vegas appropriate. And I know for a fact that Mr. Figler has earned this badge tenfold.
Well, I've actually got the next level of the next level badge, which I was going to say, I'm just going to piggyback off of yours, Sonja.
Okay.
Is that not only do you know a bartender by name, but you run
Or does
into...
a bartender know you by name?
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
That you run into said bartender outside the bar and you have an actual conversation. That's
Yes.
a true level.
Yeah.
And then you really start to develop the real friendship there. That's the thing, though.
With your
and I will say
bartender.
this.
Yeah.
Kudos to Dayvid, because not only does he have a favorite spot, a favorite bar, the bartender knows his drink there, they also know his drink over at Vesta, too. So he's got the coffee order covered there
Oh, yeah.
as well.
This applies to baristas, bartenders and
That's
baristas,
true.
and even
Yeah.
bud tenders. Let's get real. Here
Oh.
in
There you
Vegas.
go.
Yeah.
Wow. There's levels to this. I love
You
it.
got to see
I
them
love
off
it.
campus. You got to hang with them off campus.
So here's the David story to piggyback off that one even further.
So much
which is that
piggybacking.
the apocryphal story I've heard about Dayvid was that our executive producer Layla Mohammed was out with Dayvid in like the arts district, and a bartender sees him and calls him into the restaurant. I think this is Esther's, right? And gives them all free shots of Fernet.
That is like a life lesson for Vegas. That's a hack.
The Fernet at Esther's undefeated for sure. That's
All their
one of my favorite
Amaros, yeah,
things.
they are
Yeah.
at the spot.
All of them. You cannot beat them. I will say, as we're on this topic, I got to give a shout out to my guy Joey over at Silver Stamp as well. Again, great local beer bar. Those guys are great. You love when you can build those relationships with the folks over the years. And I guess kind of going with this theme of drinking, I love how this works out sometimes. My second tier Vegas merit badge was actually a drunk breakfast at Blueberry Hill past midnight.
Oh. Does it have to be Blueberry Hill or can it be any Vegas diner that's 24/7?
I think it could be any Vegas diner that's 24/7, but like for me, like I was introduced to that a couple years after I got to Vegas by some folks that went to UNLV, and they were like, "Oh, the one off of Flamingo there, like this is a staple for UNLV students." So I just felt like that was like the thing. That was one of the few like food places that came to town, which is hilarious in a city known for some unreal food that Blueberry Hill is making the mention here. But hey, they've been serving it up since 1987, so you got
100% legit. Total legit.
It's so legit.
I will validate that pick. I will also kind of maybe throw on at least one visit to the Peppermill, both sides.
I was going to say Peppermill.
Both
yeah.
sides. Both sides.
Yeah.
The coffee
That's
shop
right.
side and then the crazy fire water pit side.
Yeah, it's a Vegas. That's a Vegas classic as it possibly gets. If you're going for breakfast.
I know, and it's kind of obvious, but I like Blueberry Hill as a concept better than Peppermill, but you got to get the Peppermill in your rotation now and again, especially with visitors, and then you get to claim your local status too.
Yeah, I used to live in the
But-
South, and I feel like that's like our version of Waffle House. No shade thrown on Blueberry Hill. I don't know if they want to be associated with Waffle House, but that was like our version of it, at least how I kept telling it to everybody when I was there. And so cliche, I did get the blueberry pancakes when I went to Blueberry Hill. I had to do it.
The Las Vegas Academy of the Arts, or LVA, is a 12-time Grammy Award-winning high school, the most of any high school in the nation. And the LVA Music Conservatory faculty are performing in a special fundraising concert on Monday, April 20th at 6 p.m. in the Loudon Theater. Mark your calendars. The goal is to raise $50,000 for a 9-foot Steinway Model D concert grand piano. Their existing concert piano is beyond repair, and this opportunity is due to a partnership with Southern Nevada Music. There are multiple ways to support. You can attend the concert, you can donate, there's even a silent auction, and you don't have to actually go to the concert to donate or participate in the silent auction. There's some very cool things you can bid on, including a live vocal caroling event. You can get the mariachi band to come perform for you, get a jazz song dedication. What a great gift. And my personal favorite, you could actually, on stage, guest conduct one of their orchestra performances. So visit www.lasvegasacademy.net to purchase tickets, donate, access the silent auction, and support LVA students. Every ticket, donation, and bid brings us one step closer to giving these talented students the instruments they deserve.
All right, guys. So look, we've hit on the first 2 levels of our Vegas merit badge to be considered a local. So now let's jump up a tier. I guess this would be like your God tier level things here. All right. These are the coveted Eagle Scout badges. All right. These ones, they are not easy to get. All right. You really got to know a thing or two about Vegas to be able to unlock these. Sonja, we'll start with you.
Yes, it is the tip etiquette badge.
Ooh.
And this is tricky because it is a quiz. You have to know your way around all the ins and outs of Vegas tipping. What's the minimum to tip for a valet? I think it used to be $5. I think it might actually be a little closer to $10 now to tip for a valet. Always tip. You got to know kind of like the culture, the little insights of like when you should tip a little bit more for a little bit of extra this or that,
What's the calculus when they charge you $20 or $40 for valet parking to put a tip on top of that versus free valet?
Fair question.
That's a great question. I think if there's a charge, then you sort of tip based on service, and like that, which should be similar to like sort of restaurant tipping. So anywhere from like 15 to 25%. That's my take.
But only locals will know this calculus.
Yes,
and
that's
it will
true.
be intuitive.
It also has to be, it has to come from your gut. That's true. It's just sort of an intuitive thing.
It's a locally formed thing. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think you should honestly like have conversations with your friends, like, hey, how much are you tipping? Like, just kind of learn the etiquette, and it's because it's evolving. It's evolving too. So, but when in doubt, tip.
Or
You're
like
here.
me, be a cheapo, avoid the valet at all costs, be willing to walk in the heat no matter what.
Park 30 blocks away, but I'm going to get there.
Yes.
Fair,
Notoriously
fair.
cheap Jesse Merrick.
But Jesse, see, you're saving money so you can tip appropriately and properly in other places. And I respect
Exactly.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yes.
Always got to hit him with a nice tip at dinner. Again, our city was built on the service industry, so like that's the place to go and do it for sure. But I love that you bringing that one up though, because again, if it's a free valet, going to throw $5 to $10 on there, like that's an awesome way to go about doing it. I do love that. Dayvid, what about you, man? What's your next level, your Eagle Scout badge in order to be considered a real Vegas local?
Okay, I'm going to throw out 2 in rapid succession because the first one is virtually impossible. Yeah. Take a bicycle ride all the way down the strip from, I'm going to say, let's just call it the Stratosphere. I'm over it. I'm okay with calling Stratosphere part of the strip. Fight me. All the way down
counts.
to the sign.
I think it does too.
To the sign.
Oh.
Now, unless there's another pandemic, God forbid, this is going to be both extremely difficult and extremely dangerous for you.
Please wear a helmet.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you might want to think about midweek, maybe 6 a.m. or something to do it. But when you are going on bike, so you're going at a nice pace down the middle, it really not only exposes you to things that you otherwise wouldn't see, and bypasses the old avoid the strip at all costs because you're really not going into the casinos. You're kind of appreciating it as an outdoor thing. But, look, as locals, we know that if there is a lot of traffic on the strip, we will take whatever back road, whatever side road. We don't want to be there. But there's a lot to see and take in, both architecturally, the signs, the people, when it's otherwise deserted, stand out a little bit more as well. But if you have the ability safely to take a bicycle ride up and down, that's a local unlock badge. The other one I'm going to throw out is a little easier, and that is to personally have a factoid in your pocket that you've researched that debunks everyone's common knowledge. Because we can't always rely on guys like Corey Leviton, a friend of the pod, to come on and bust up a myth. I think every local has to have at least one myth bust in their pocket at all times.
Do you have a favorite one, Dayvid? I'm so curious.
I do. I mean, the givey is that, because everyone says, oh, well, Bugsy Siegel opened up the first casino. And we know that that's not true, that it was the third casino and he opened it, but he didn't build it. He basically froze someone else out of it. So that's a good myth bust. But the one I love most, and it really deflates people, especially if they've been to the old Mormon fort for the tour and the historical stuff, it's like, barely none of it. In fact, I think like one brick is from the original fort, and everything else there is a recreation.
Yes, I learned this fact from you, Dayvid.
The wind out of everyone's sail. They're like, wait, it's a fraud? I'm like, it's not a fraud, but it's not what it's purported to be. Oh, yeah. I'm so nasty. I like ripping up people's,
creative reuse. I don't know. It's something.
It's a recreation. It's not the original Mormon fort. Come on, everybody, get over it. We love our history, but not really.
Right? Yeah. We'll make it back up anytime. And granted, we are a city known for stealing skylines and things like that from other people, which I guess kind of brings me to my final, Eagle Scout badge here. And it would be witnessing an implosion. I feel like that's something that's so unique to Las Vegas. And this is one of those things where you have to put in a handful of years here in the city to be able to do it. Because although now they're, I guess you could say, becoming more common given the recent investment and with teams and stuff like that coming to build stadiums, like you've got to be here for a while to be able to do that. And that is like, where else are you going and witnessing implosions and seeing people, in hazmat suits down there with gas masks on to celebrate these things?
That's when I know it's a local. Because they're not whooping as much as they are making sure that they have the proper PPE.
Oh,
yes.
Okay. Yeah. Gotcha. That's interesting. I guess if you get that close, some people might witness it from further away, without the gas mask.
There's no distance that's safe when one of those old casinos becomes airborne. And I don't mean just like the chemicals that might be in part of the building materials. I'm just talking about the sadness that is unleashed into the environment.
It's a mixture of, celebration and sadness for sure.
Sure.
Can I chip in my last Eagle Scout tier badge here?
Yes, definitely. Let's get it.
All right. So mine is that you're helping something grow in Las Vegas. So it's leaving your mark and making our community better. And I think it's because I see so many people in transient Las Vegas come in, make their quick buck, in some ways almost use the community to kind of further their careers or their ambitions. And then just like jet once they've kind of, made their use of the city or the community, the people, and taken advantage. Maybe taken advantage of is a little strong, but kind of had a safe landing place here.
I was going to say exploit. So you're doing much better than I would. So
you know what I mean, though, Dayvid, right? Yeah. The people who kind of just jet in for a bit and then just jet out. And I think the real difference is you're a real local when you actually give back to the community. You acknowledge and respect and are grateful for what Las Vegas and its people have given you, and you give something back. So that, to me, is the most important badge of all.
A reinvestment back into Vegas. And I love it. And Sonja, you kind of talked about this earlier. I'm curious, like after you finally acquired all of these badges, your infinity stones, if you will, what do you actually get? What's the win here for locals when they actually get this?
Oh, I think it's a sense of satisfaction. You have made your mark. You put down your roots. Maybe a sense of belonging. I don't know. What do you think, Dayvid?
Well, I think everyone who is truly a proven local by taking this particular quiz or just listening to this episode, should get free parking everywhere.
Oh, I love
should
that.
be issued a master player's card that works everywhere for everything. But I think more than anything else, like when you truly have achieved local status, you as a reward, get to feel things when things happen in your community, good or bad. So like when that place that you truly loved is no longer there, and unfortunately we have way too long a list of those things here, you're a local when you feel it in your body, like the sense of loss or grief, right? Or, and I encourage people, and this is like probably one of my minor badges, that they go to a city council meeting or a planning commission meeting or something where decision makers are making policy that impacts people's lives. But also, I think that when you are truly a local, you become not only aware of an elected official, so you have like a favorite elected official, but that you have that same like visceral feeling when that person ultimately, and they almost all do, winds up in some horrible scandal. Like you actually feel it a little bit more. You're like, oh, I really liked politician X. Sex scandal, money scandal, real estate scandal. Oh.
That was my favorite character. Oh, man.
Yeah, it's like, this is a person I was hoping was going to keep moving up, and now they're going to be banished and probably move to, like, I don't know, Colorado or wherever. And that was not supposed to be pointing anyone out who has maybe moved to Colorado. I'm just saying.
We do love our scandals here. Speaking of like having that like feeling for it, I mean, this is something, one of those things that just feels like just a typical Vegas thing. We so strongly want to prove why we're like real locals here in Las Vegas. I've lived other places, and it doesn't feel quite that much of like an onus to really prove and show. And I wonder, like, does it have anything to do with the fact that it is a transient city? Like, why do you guys feel that is so ingrained in us here, that the people that have been here for years on end?
I feel like it's because so few people over the course of my family's 25 years of living in Las Vegas, so few people have owned Las Vegas with pride, in the sense of like owning it when you go outside of the city to say like, oh, I'm a Las Vegan, or I just remember hearing people would say, oh, I'm from Nevada, or like I'm from out west, or, but to like really say I'm from Las Vegas and be prepared for whatever backlash or comments come with it. So I think there's this sense of almost like fierce
hyper defensiveness.
Yeah.
Because of a little insecurity that we're not being taken serious as residents here, that we're not serious people here, that we're all Elvis impersonator and no civic planning. Right. And that puts you on your heels all the time of being defensive. I often will like shoot out to somebody when they ask that stupid question that you said, Jesse, that people ask you, like, what hotel do you live in, or whatever, I always shoot back. Do you know how many people reside in Las Vegas? Take a guess. And they always guess by magnitude too low. And when I say 2.5 million people live in the greater Las Vegas Valley, they're just like, what? Where? How? And that like is part of that defensiveness. It's like, you don't even recognize us as humans who would live in a community. Come on.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
That's why we always want to be the local. Right. Real city, real people. That's us.
Recognize us. And for those of you out there who are now maybe listening to this podcast thinking like, gosh, I have my work cut out, go forth, enjoy your city, go capture these merit badges and become a true local.
I have a hack, Jesse, on how you can get to that local status even quicker.
Hit us with it real quick.
Become a member of CityCast Las Vegas. Hey. That was an unsolicited pitch, but I'm telling you, between these podcasts and the newsletter that goes out every day, I have heard from more people who just moved to the city who felt maybe a little disconnected, or that they were having a struggle getting to that local status, that we have helped them. And I'm glad to be able to do that, because I think at the end of the day, Jesse, one thing about being a local is your graciousness to new people who want to become locals as well. And I think we embody that here at the podcast. And all three of us are definitely on page, right?
So true. And what better way to close it out on a high note, right? Thank you guys so much for your time and proving to everybody out there what it means to be a real local here in Las Vegas.
Shout out to the Weebelows. Those are people in between.
Thanks, Jesse. Thanks, Dayvid.
That's all for today here on CityCast Las Vegas. If you enjoyed the show, why not tell a friend? Rate the show, leave us a review too, and subscribe to our morning newsletter. And don't forget, you can support this show and get great perks by becoming a CityCast Las Vegas neighbor at memberships.citycast.fm. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more news from around the city. Till then, take care.